all the usual legal disclaimers. Uranium. We've been talking about it a few times on this trip, and we kept saying demand continues to go up, blah, 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 and nobody really cared. I said, what we need is supply disruption, and that's exactly what happened about 2 weeks ago. Cameco decided that they were going to shut down the richest, most profitable in the past. They're going to shut it down. It's equivalent of Saudi Arabia saying they're going to shut down their oil fields because it's too expensive to produce oil. And that's, unfortunately, hasn't quite caught on. But as you listen to the need for energy, for crypto, and energy, people don't realize a car still has to be plugged in for energy somewhere. And so we see a bright future for electricity, and we certainly think uranium is a part of it. We've been fortunate to win a lot of awards simply because this discovery that we made was very, very unique. It's in a great country, I think, for mining, and a province called Saskatchewan, which is fantastic. But also, it's 50 meters from surface, and it's very large. So when you got something very large, very shallow, it attracts. And I think that's the reason we've got the Chinese government owning 20% of us. So anyways, there's a very unique, once-in-a-lifetime discovery that was made. And that's why all these awards. If I've been coming here for a number of years, if you had bought the very first company that I came over with, Strathmore, today you look in your account, you'd have 4 shares in that account. You would own Strathmore, which became Energy Fuels. Fission Energy got sold to Denison, and then the Fission Uranium we spun out another company. We've always believed it's always been our mind, our properties, other people's money that we move projects forward. In Strathmore, we moved it forward with Sumitomo. With Fission Energy, we did it with a Korean utility. And then finally, recently, we just had an investment of $82 million from the Chinese government. And today still have their 20%. I believe CGN's a mothership of our industry. I know that for a long time, we used to chase Areva and Cameco, and I didn't realize they were chasing CGN the whole time. Because take Westinghouse and add Cameco together, and you've got CGN. They mine it, they use it, and they process it, everything along the way. And one of the reasons we built Schiller Value since 1996 is Ross and I invest all the time when we do financings. So therefore, our cost is the same as yours, the same opportunity. Whether Saudi Arabia, which shocks people, like 2 weeks ago, the Korean group put together a bid to build 2 reactors for them. So Saudi Arabia, the home of cheap oil, is adding nuclear to their mix. And that's something that's lost on people. When I first got in the business, someone said, you don't have to pick companies, pick sectors. And when you see the amount of energy that we all plug stuff in at night, whether it's cryptocurrencies and machines and the power that's needed, or electric vehicles, where does the energy come from? Well, we need a lot more of it, 150% more by 2035. So obviously you'll see China there, that's the obvious ones, but people don't notice is Saudi Arabia, United Emirates, people you wouldn't think, so why do they need energy, nuclear power? Because they need energy. And why is there an opportunity? Well, everybody would, when we're growing up, we were all told buy low, sell high, right? That's kind of generally how we're told. Well, the utilities do the opposite. When prices are low, right, they tend to buy high. And then because of that, they've got, over the next number of years, we're going to have billions of pounds. It's ridiculous how short-term utilities think. When prices are low, they think it's going to stay low forever. When they're high, they think it's going to be high forever. So here, you can see the red is the spot price, and the blue is how much they contract. In other words, when prices are low, they don't contract. They wait till prices jump up, which is the exact opposite of how we're all raised. So you've got utilities refusing to buy. And but the best thing for low uranium prices is low uranium price, and that's why Cameco has say they're going to shut down about 10, and that represents about 15 million pounds. And that's sort of what the overhang has been in our sector between underfeeding, Department of Energy dumping. That's what we've had. Now, if they go through with it, this overhang will lift. The average cost of most mines around the world are close to $50, $60 cash costs. So we really do need 70. I think in the short term, I can see it going to 40. What happens after that? In the last cycle, if you're not aware, it went from $7 to 140. Now, part of that is because utilities, the cost of uranium is a very small marginal cost of actual running a reactor. So they don't care if it goes to 100 or 300. It doesn't really matter that much to them. But they tend to do this. It was just shocking that, these are professionals and they can't read charts. When prices are low, that's when you should be contracting. But they don't. Therein lies the opportunity for investors. That's China. They own 20% of us. And you can see how many, they want to have their energy, 20% of it coming from nuclear energy. And to do that, they've got to build 234 reactors. That's a lot. And I think they are serious, but there's always people saying, well, it's China. Are they really telling the truth? This is why we're in Canada. Look at the grade. It's, grade is king. Anybody in mining will tell you that. But also, we got 60 years of mining. They supply about 20% of the world's uranium already. So we know it's not like not in my backyard. And Cameco used to be a part of the government. They've done a great job working with the First Nations group, environmental groups, and et cetera. That is in Canada. We're literally in the middle of Canada. This is called the Athabasca Basin. This little line here represents what they used to be called unconformity deposits, sandstone, and basement. Well, something wonderful happened. Our team didn't believe all the uranium was here. We didn't even believe it was in the basin. We came down here, and Ross is here, and the team just tried something out of the box. They broke convention in two different ways. And so we were able to make a discovery that was on the west side, more importantly, not in the basin itself. We've got no sandstone on top, which allows us, like glaciers moved it, which allowed us to be able to find something in the basement. Now, why is it important to have a shallow deposit? Along here is all the deposits in the basin. Down here is how deep they are. The green ones have been found, not mined. The gray ones were found and mined. The black ones are being. So that's where fission fits in. Being so shallow, and Chinese definitely prefer something open pittable. So that's why it's won the awards, this project, and why it's important to CGN. CGN spent almost 3 million Canadian doing due diligence in all these projects, plus around the world, and they said they wanted to be in Canada, wanted to do open pit. This is the actual strike length of our project. It's, like I said, almost 2 kilometers. And thank you. I won an award. Do I get a cookie? And so it's actually quite long now, and it gets longer. Recently, this last winter, we just made a discovery out here, about 2 kilometers away, and we're really pushing hard for it. And why we love it is because it's got the same kind of rocks, a 780 zone. Those who are technical, come by, and Ross can explain it. If we do go into production, according to our PEA, we'll be the lowest cost producer in the world. But again, this is more like a scoping study, but it still tells us we can be competitive. That's the rest of our structure. The bottom line is, guys, last year we put out some great results. The stocks will go down. Everybody generally feels we've got enough. But I believe this next move is going to be bigger than the last one. In the last move, we had 3 mines coming online and 26 reactors being built. Today, 0 mines coming on and 56 being built. So you got a lot more demand than what we had before the last hockey stick. Thank you.